Okay, for the continuation of the topic, I will discuss to you teachers as curriculum leaders in the preschool. So, ano ba ang dapat gawin ng isang guro as curriculum leaders in preschool? So, it is said that Republic Act 10157, otherwise known as Kindergarten Education Act, integrates kindergarten education in the formal education of the country. But, bago yon, before the school year 2011-2012, kindergarten education was not a prerequisite to grade 1. So it was more of a privilege for learners whose parents can afford kindergarten. So noon, hindi pa kasama yung kindergarten as a prerequisite for grade 1. So it is not desirable, it was desirable but not mandatory. So hindi naman siya mandated noon. But now, the Kindergarten Act mandates all children aged 5 to enroll in kindergarten. So, a diploma in kindergarten is now a prerequisite to enroll in grade 1. So, ngayon, yung mga bata ay hindi na makakapag-enroll for grade 1 hanggat hindi sila nakakapag-kinder o hindi sila nag-enroll for kindergarten. So, the kindergarten curriculum includes the following areas. So, first, they have the values education, the physical health and motor development, we have the social and emotional development, and the cognitive development. So under cognitive development, we have the sensory perceptual motor development, mathematics, understanding of physical and natural environment, understanding of the social environment, and as well as language, literacy, and communication. So, that is under the cognitive development. Now, the question is, how can a teacher be a curriculum leader in preschool? So, in the new kindergarten curriculum, teacher must be highly trained in handling children's behavior as well as in guiding them for learning. So, hindi lang dapat isang implementor ng curriculum ang isang guro sa kindergarten, but also she or he must be a curriculum leader in making decision for the selection of content, of the materials, as well as assessment to be used for the learning of the students or the pupils. So, the teacher must also advocate the children's education rights as well as their protection. So, the ASEAN standards for global teachers necessitate all teachers to address the needs of culturally diverse school. So, we all know that in our country, we have cultural diversity. So, that's why a teacher must develop a new curriculum materials that is responsive and relevant for the context and culture of the learners, and also to integrate multicultural literacy and cultural competencies in the curriculum. Since starting in kindergarten, there is implementation of MTB, MLE, or the mother tongue-based multilingual education. So the teacher must learn the people and must learn the language of the people and develop new methods and techniques in teaching local languages. So the teacher must study new ways of learning, new pedagogy, and new curriculum designs for indigenizing and contextualizing curriculum and instruction. So, dahil yun yung naging implementation sa primary education ngayon, starting kindergarten. So, kailangan ang gamitin na language ng isang guro ay the mother tongue base o kung ano ba yung kinagis ng lingwahe ng mga bata. Kaya kailangan niya din mag-isip ng mga bagong learning materials and also new pedagogies, mga techniques and approaches and methodologies to use para maging effective ang kanyang pagtuturo. And for her or him to become an effective curriculum leader. Nakapaloob din sa Republic Act 10157 that all educators or all teachers must restudy the child-centered philosophy. This is to ensure that the learner's needs and nature are reflected. And also the teachers must need to develop new ways of assessing learners' progress, and they need to find ways on how play and other progressive approaches will fit in to the new rules of standards-based education. So, as a teacher, dahil nasa new curriculum na tayo and the kindergarten is kasali na din siya sa formal education. So, that's why they recommended or they necessitate that all teachers or educators must restudy the child-centered philosophy. Ito na din sa kadahilanan na para mas maging effective ang kanilang pagtuturo, and also para mas matutukan nila yung learners. Matutukan nila yung behavior and as well as the needs and also the nature of the learners, especially the kindergarten pupils. That's all. Next presenter, please.
Teachers as curriculum leaders in junior high school. The junior high school program of K-12 includes the grade 7 to grade 10 of the secondary level. The curriculum of junior high school follows the spiral curriculum design. So when we say spiral curriculum design, it is what they learn in the elementary education, and they apply it, or they will also learn in the secondary level, which is in every grade level they step on. It is the improvements of their learnings. So it is added improving learnings when they step on to the next grade level. So the teachers as curriculum leaders will need to master their disciplines and allow every learners to experience and examine the beauty of each discipline. So what we have curriculum right now is the student-centered, where the students are the one who talks a lot, and the teachers as they just lead the students what they will do. So those it is the opportunity for those students to speak their knowledge, to speak their to voice what they have, or it is the opportunity for them to be creative, to be critical thinking, or to get out to their comfort zone, because being student-centered education, it promotes a lot of skills, public speaking skills, confidence in talking.
Teachers as curriculum leaders in senior high school. The senior high school is something new in the educational program for basic education in the Philippines. It was added basically to prepare the Filipino for global demand. It is part of the commitment of the country to make its educational system as part with global standard. The senior high school program is a 2-year education program added to the 10 years of basic education in the Philippines. In senior high school, a student will choose their own track for academic track, technical and vocational track, and arts and sports track. The academic track has 4 specializations. 1. Humanities and social science. 2. Business. 3. STEM. And 4 is general academic. These tracks aim to develop the following: life and career skills, learning and innovation skills, information and media skills, communication skills. The senior high school teachers will need to develop and implement lessons that are 1. Learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. The curriculum shall be learner-centered, inclusive, developmentally relevant, and appropriate. Learner-centered is an approach to education that puts needs and interests of the student are center of the teaching learning process. B. The curriculum shall be relevant, responsive, and research-based. 2. Relevant, responsive, and research-based. Responsive and relevant: using a relevant and responsive teaching approach means making your teaching meaningful. Research-based, you apply method of teaching which have been proven to be effective. Culture sensitive, you are mindful of the diversity of cultures in your classroom. So, culture sensitive, contextualized, and global. So, culture sensitive, you are mindful of the diversity of cultures in your classroom. Contextualized and global, you make teaching meaningful by putting your lesson in a context. Constructivist, being constructivist means you believe that students learn by building upon their prior knowledge. Pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. Constructivist teaching, interactive, collaborative, integrative, and inquiry-based features of constructivist teaching based on the belief that learning occurs when learners are actively involved in the process of meaning and knowledge construction as opposed to passively receiving information. The senior high school teachers are experts in their own field.
Hello, good day everyone. I am Ronan Alcalayo and today I will be discussing the topic about teacher as curriculum leaders of 21st century. The 21st century is marked with various changes and challenges brought by forces like globalization, changing individual and social value system. Diversity factors, massive influx of information technology, environmental issues, and the increasing amount of information made available to the public. Teachers need to develop new curriculum materials and instructional design that will prepare students' needs of 21st century learning. Teachers need a lot of professional and personal updating, so learning in the 21st century will need teachers who possess a high degree of technological, pedagogical, content knowledge. Teachers will teach students now about ICT dahil sa panahon ngayon, technology is very rampant like gadgets. So in 21st century is more in technology. Teachers must be knowledgeable about ICT para ma-share nila sa mga students kung saan at paano ba ito gamitin in a good way because technology is very important dahil kinakailangan na ito sa pang-araw-araw. According to Middlewood and Barton, noted that 21st century teaching and learning would need a completely new paradigm of learning. Critical thinking. It is how the way you think, which is you need to think outside the box to provide learning as well as joy to your students. It is vital for just about every aspect of a student's life. Creativity. Kailangan maging creative yung mga teacher on how you will deliver your lessons. You need the right strategies to students para mahikayat mo yung students. And also, the students, kailangan malabas nila yung creativity, skills, and potentials na mayroon sila. Knowledge is another facet of creativity. Concerning knowledge, the learners need to know about a field to move it forward as they cannot move beyond if they do not know where they actually are. Communication skills. It is how they will interact to society, how to socialize, and also collaboration. And how you will collaborate to another student, another person in the society as well. Law and Glover 2000 also identified new features of education, focusing on learning how to learn, learning as a process, a journey, learning as a lifelong process, and teacher as a learner. So there are several developments which have significantly influenced curriculum development and teaching and learning in the 21st century. Those are increasing discoveries on how the human brain works, idea of learning styles and thinking preferences, ICT integration in education, development of learning organizations. So, these are several developments na nakaka-influence sa curriculum in the 21st century. Costa and Kelly 2009 identified the following habits of mind. Number 1. Be independent thinkers. Think before they act. Students who are independent thinkers learn how to think outside the box and ask critical questions about concepts. Independent thinkers evaluate obstacles from all sides. These skills helps with communication, improves relationship, allows for creativity, and support mental well-being. Number 2. Be more self-motivated. Learners who are self-motivated are more likely to do better in school and have a better overall sense of well-being. Finding self-motivation for learners is a key element in their success and happiness at school. Number 3. Be more inquisitive. It's no secret that curiosity makes learning more effective and enjoyable. It is an important condition for language learning and plays a significant role in learner engagement. Number 4. Pay attention to detail. Take pride in work. Attention to detail will be your ability to efficiently allocate your students' need, skills, and potential. Attention to details allows you to improve classroom productivity and performance. And also, when pride is present at classroom, it inspires individuals and students to achieve more, communicate better, and build upon each other's strength. Number 5. Be more diligent and persistent. As a teacher, you need to be active in the teaching and learning process. Take responsibility for your own teaching and learning and do many good things of your own free will. You need to ensure that all students are engaged in the learning process and seek after the students who are not succeeding. Number 6. Enjoy working through the work. This is extremely important because being in harmony means feeling safe, feeling valued, and a necessary part of a group, especially in classroom. Those students will feel comfortable and motivated to study if the teacher is enjoying while discussing the lessons. Number 7. Think for themselves, not always follow another's lead. Great leaders seek to engage, inspire, and empower those they lead. And when that happens, it's amazing what can be accomplished. Number 8. Generate their own thoughts. The school leader should bring critical thinking at the center of teaching and learning, emphasizing learning improvement and the role of thinking in developing integrated thinking abilities. Number 9. Be self-directed. Use strategies of problem solving. Training for your students to build the skills that are required of them to problem solve life's challenges, organize a task, and manage real-world projects. Self-directed learners can learn content, grasp concepts, and grow in important life skills all at the same time. Number 10. Transfer knowledge and apply to new situations. Teachers need to see how ideas connect across fields and to everyday life. It helps find ways of generating greater interest and engagement in learners to the classroom. By that, mas naiintindihan ng mga estudyante yung tinuturo ng teacher. Like, for example, magbibigay for example, in the classroom, nagla-lesson yung teacher. Dapat yung tinuturo niya is yung nangyayari sa real-life situations para mas naiintindihan ng mga estudyante yung topic na dinidiscuss. Number 11. Have confidence. Be able to take risk. Self-confidence is necessary for leaders to take risks and accomplish high goals. People who are self-confident tend to deal immediately and directly with problems and conflicts rather than procrastinating, ignoring, or passing problems to another. Next is support answers so that they can show evidence of their thinking. To promote high academic standards, teachers need to create supportive social context and develop positive relationship with students. Being a supportive teacher means holding students accountable while providing the support they need to succeed. Last is communicate with each other. Work it out together. It can have an impact on your students' academic progress, feelings of self-worth, perceptions of school, and your own career. Communicating effectively with students creates a positive learning environment and fosters student success. Teachers need to develop curriculum that will instill human values and critical thinking to the learners.
A pleasant day to everyone. I am Lara B. Presentacion and I will discuss about exercising curriculum leadership in selecting textbook and other instructional materials. So before we proceed to our discussions, let us define first what is leadership. Leadership refers to the role you play in helping your school community to achieve your goals. So, leader, lead and implement guidance and assistance to the group as a whole. Leader must ensure that everything is in order and that is handled objectively for the group's success. So, curriculum refers to all the experiences that learners go through in a program of education. The school takes responsibility for all these planned experiences. Curriculum is the heart and soul of education. So, curriculum always anchored with the demand of society and also the need of the student. So, let's come now to our discussion. Teachers should be empowered to select the textbook and other instructional materials that they use or that they need in their classes. In some schools, teachers are enjoying to participate textbook selection process. In many schools, administrators are the ones who select the textbook for the school. It is logical and proper to include teachers in the process of selecting textbook and other instructional materials since teachers are the one teaching the subject and they know better the use and the nature of their students. They must be given the freedom to decide what textbook or other instructional materials that they are going to use. So, in 2015, the Department of Education developed a framework for developing and selecting textbook and other instructional materials. The framework prescribes that all textbook and instructional materials are first aligned to K-12 curriculum. The textbook and other instructional materials should follow the curricular standards and competencies prescribed by the K-12 curriculum. So, why it is important that textbooks and other learning materials are aligned with the K-12 curriculum? So, the central role of textbooks and other learning materials or other instructional materials is enhancing the quality of learning and improving student performance. So, it is very important that align to the K-12 curriculum since Textbooks serve as a guide to the prescribed curriculum. They ensure that topics covered are similar across different schools and states. It transmits knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values to the teacher and student alike. It provides guidelines for the school and learning. Other instructional materials include books, newspaper, and other printed materials in mother tongue and instructional languages reflecting local customs and concerns. They engage students in multi-dimensional learning, build students' abilities to apply their knowledge. It aims the ensuring coherence and consistency between the intended outcomes as specified in the former curriculum and teaching methods, assessments, tasks, and learning activities in the classroom. So second contains expert system of knowledge. So authors that are expert in their field should write the textbook and other instructional materials. It is also important that the content of the instructional materials are accurate and up to date. So authors who are an expert in their fields relies on having a good knowledge base, and they use effective strategies to representing and reasoning about the knowledge. So third, have provision for differentiated instruction. It is important to provide activities and assessment strategies that are relevant to learning style and thinking preference of the learners. The needs of the fast and slow learner should be also considered. Differentiated instruction is a teaching approach that tailors instruction to all students' learning needs. All the students have the same learning goal, but the instruction varies based on students' interests, preferences, strengths, and struggles. Fourth, the provision for reflective thinking. The instructional materials and textbooks should engage the learners to develop critical thinking rather, and creative thinking, and encourage reflective thinking. Fifth, the provision to parental and community involvement. The textbook and instructional materials should encourage parental and community involvement. This means that service learning, real-life intervention, and parental support are encouraged. When parents are involved in their children's education, children are more likely to do well in school and have better social and emotional development. Parental involvement improves student achievement, self-esteem, and behavior. It also helps to build strong relationships between parents and their child's school. Studies show when parents and community members are engaged in schools, students perform better, attendance increases, and dropout rates are lower. Community engagement also fosters the willing contribution of local resources, human material, and economic for the benefit of education. Community ownership of education initiatives endows such initiatives with a greater likelihood of being successful and of being sustained over time. This empowers students to take learning into their own hands, while enhancing engagement with parents, families, and the wider school. School communities are a powerful way to build a sense of connectedness and belonging, and improving educational and teaching outcomes within a school. So, curriculum leaders, therefore, is an act of exercising functions that enables the achievement of a school goals of providing quality education. That's the end of my discussion. I hope you learned something about my discussion, and God bless everyone. Keep safe and see you soon.
developing teachers as curriculum leaders. So there are few important factors that need to be considered in the development of teachers as curriculum leaders. So the first one is the teacher empowerment. So teachers need to be empowered to make important decisions, solve problems, take action, and innovate in their own school and classes. So of course, as a teacher, we need to be empowered because our profession is to share knowledge to students, also to mold them as a successful student someday. That's why we need to take actional aspect of problem and innovate our school and classes. The second one is the efficient system. Teachers need to work in an efficient working environment. They need to be a part of a system that is collaborative, professional, and effective. So, of course, teachers also need to be connected in the learning environment because this is a part of our profession and also it is help us to grow more as a teacher. The third one is mentoring system. So teachers, especially the neophyte. So when we say neophyte or the teacher beginner that need mentoring from effective and model mentors. The fourth one is administrative support. At any level, teachers will need full support from the administration, especially they want to innovate or develop good programs for the school and their students. So dito, kailangan talaga ng support ng administration kasi syempre hindi naman talaga madali ang pag-implement or pag-innovate ng mga programs. So kailangan talaga ng full support ng administration para mapaganda yung program na gagawin. So the last one is the learning community. So teacher must experience to work in a learning community where all behave as professionals, avoiding any form of professional jealousies and free from insecurities. Teachers need to learn from and share best curricular and instructional practices to each other. So, these are the important factor of how to be a great teacher as a curriculum leader. As a teacher, we need to train and develop our skill and mind because teacher is all know as a flexible person. That's why we need to train and develop our skill and mind to grow as individual and to share these things to the students.